Substitution level 2, solve the system. So now in the next difficulty of problems is you don't have two variables in the top and bottom that are isolated. Instead, we have x isolated in the bottom one. So this is where we're going to start. I'm going to go ahead and take this negative 6y, and wherever there's an x, I will substitute it. So right here. So that's step number 1. Negative 6y goes in for x right there. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and move this to the side. I'm going to do 5 parentheses. In goes negative 6y where the x used to be, plus 9y equals 21. Now I'm going to have to multiply these together. I have a set of parentheses, so it's kind of like distribution, but there's really only one term inside. So 5 times negative 6y is negative 30y, plus 9y is equal to 21. I'm going to combine 9y and negative 30y together, so that's going to result in negative 21y equals positive 21. And then I'll divide by negative 21 on both sides. So that was step number 2. Again, x was isolated, so I took negative 6y and substituted for x. Number 2, we simply go ahead and we solve and we find out what y is. So I've got y equals negative 1. After that, I'm going to go ahead and take this negative 1, and I will substitute that in for x in either equation, but I think the bottom one looks a lot easier. So step number 3, I'm just going to rewrite this over here. I've got negative 6, parentheses, in goes negative 1 for y is equal to x, and then we'd simply go ahead and evaluate. Negative 6 times negative 1 is positive 6. So our ordered pair is going to be, I've got a 6 for my x value. Remember, alphabetically, x comes first. 6 comma negative 1. And then just like I did in the last question, if all you need is a review of how to solve these, I would stop here. But if you would like a really good test-taking strategy, watch what I do with 6 comma negative 1. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite the top equation. So I've got 5x plus 9y is equal to 21. And then I'll rewrite the second one, negative 6y is equal to x. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute these x's and y's here. So I've got 5, in goes 6 for x, plus 9, in goes negative 1 for y, is equal to 21. And then over here I have negative 6. Again, my y is going to be negative 1, so in goes negative 1 for y. And then in for x goes 6. And let's do the more difficult one first. So 5 times 6, we would have to multiply here. And then 9 times negative 1, that would give me negative 9, should be equal to 21. Again, remember order of operations, you multiply before you add. And then 30 minus 9 is 21. And last time I checked, 21 equals 21, so that's true. On the right side, negative 6 times negative 1, again, we're multiplying there, sorry about that. 6 is equal to 6, and again, that is also true. So because we have two true statements, the ordered pair 6 comma negative 1 has to work in both, and this is guaranteed to be the solution to at least this system.